And hello again, Kawaljit. Let's have a look at your essay about part-time jobs. Educational experts throughout both the developing countries and developed countries have debated whether part-time work is beneficial for students or it affects students' physical and mental well-being and personal life. Okay, well-being should be a hyphenated word. And here we have a repeat. Why do we need it? You can simply say developing and developed countries. That's it. Okay. I would say this is a bit long, whether part-time work is beneficial for students, or it may affect students' physical and mental well-being and personal life. This part is a bit cumbersome. I would change it if I were you. This essay will discuss both sides using examples from the UK government and Victoria Health Department to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, what is Victoria Health Department? I'm not sure. Which Victoria? Is this the British Columbia Victoria or which one? But anyway, this is a detail up to you. Okay, this is a clear introduction. You're introducing the problem, clear, just don't forget your verbs and avoid repetitions. There's ample evidence that nowadays McDonald's, Pizza Hut, it's not Huts, it's Hut, petrol stations and grocery stores, to name just a few, are providing temporary work, especially to students who do not need any kind of work experience. The students who doesn't need work experience students, or the employers do not require any work experience from the prospective employees. So students can easily be hired for those odd jobs which would provide them, this is a repeat, students, financial support for the expenditure without dropping out from their studies. Okay, not just dropping, or without abandoning their studies. That would be more appropriate in an essay. Oh, I beg your pardon for the noise. For example, recently empirical research by the UK government demonstrated that most of the teenage students pick up, select, let's agree not to use phrasal verbs in academic essays, an irregular job with studies. What do you mean work with studies? At the same, do you mean simultaneously with studying? Not sure what you mean here. Please correct. That does not require specific skills to pay for their living expenses. You refer what do you mean by skills that can pay their living expenses? You mean that they select a job in order to be able to pay for their living expenses, and these jobs do not require specific skills, right? I suppose you mean this, because if you put it in the way you put it here, you refer to special skills in order to pay living expenses, because you have arranged your words like this. Sometimes sentences can mean something that you didn't mean. We really have to avoid that. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that part-time jobs ensure students' financial independence. Yes, very good conclusion, very clear. Don't forget the comma after linking words such as therefore, or actually, or however. Okay, good. Just make sure that your word order stays correct and ensures clarity. However, one of part-time work, the most serious repercussions one of the most serious repercussions of part-time work is that students mostly occupy with studies and work day and night, and there is no spare time for recreational activities such as spending time with family and friends, exploring nature, or do a sport. Okay, let's make ourselves a point of asking ourselves when we reread our own writing at the end, okay, is my grammar okay? So this needs to be fixed in terms of grammar. Okay, as I showed you, you need to fix the word order here. And here you need to fix the verbs and many other minor things, such as one of the most serious repercussions of part-time work is that students are mostly occupied with their studies and they work day and night. So there is no spare time for recreational activities for them, such as, for instance, spending time with family and friends, or exploring nature. No, exploring nature, or doing a sport, or let's say taking up no phrasal verbs, or let's say yes, going to the gym. Let's say this is largely because a heavy workload is one word, typically, keeps them away from leisure activities. You have just said that. You have just said that in this sentence, so why are you repeating yourself in this sentence? And by the way, I would rather suggest you use this wording, like leisure activities, heavy workload, rather than they work day and night and there is no spare time, because the language of this sentence is better than the language of the previous sentence. It's more high level. For instance, an extensive study by Victoria Health Department showed that working part-time while studying has a very detrimental effect on students, and I think plural, students, plural, possessive, mental and physical health. Details, how detrimental, what happened to them, did they get depression, did they get sick, did they get stomach ulcers? So how detrimental was the effect on their mental and physical health? We need examples, otherwise it's not convincing enough. Therefore, if a student continues to sacrifice their leisure time, it may lead to serious health issues or consequences. Yes, very nice. This is a very nice idea, and this is a very appropriate idea in this essay. Absolutely. In conclusion, from the financial point of view, nobody can deny the importance of part-time jobs and the economic freedom it brings to young people, not young ones, because otherwise you kind of mean children. Yet we cannot disregard its consequences on students' health and personal life. Personal life? You said mental and physical health, not in completely personal life. But again, it's good that you are retaking and summarizing the main ideas from the body paragraphs. Yes, way to go. This is absolutely the right thing to do. But Kawaljit, let's agree to be more careful with the language, right? My grammar, spelling, vocabulary use, sentence structure, punctuation, all of this, I am sure that when you are not in a hurry, when you plan your work accordingly, you can cover all of these perfectly, because I can see that you have great ideas and a great language command. Just make sure it's always polished and accurate. Okay, now let's have a look at the popularity of school subjects. It should have been subjects in Germany. This pie chart illustrates the 6 subjects in demand: physics, biology, history, mathematics, geography, and physical education in a German school in 2017. No, it's not one German school. It's in German schools overall, and I'm not sure how you introduce this. You should say, you should introduce them differently. Perhaps you could put uh, how do you call it? A dash here. German schools, right? In German school, beg your pardon. 2017, yes. Overall, it can be seen that physical education and history were the most favored subjects, grammar, in German schools, with a slight margin in percentage. What do you mean by with a slight margin in percentage? You mean they were very close, so they both being very close or touching a very close margin in percentage. Looking in more detail, PE was acknowledged as the most popular subject in school, were at this much, whereas history was the second most cherished. Cherished, okay. I wouldn't use cherished here. I would say preferred, but not cherished. You can cherish life, like love and appreciate, but not a subject. among German students with this many percent, and that was just 0.5% less. And why don't we do this? Then PE. Okay, you don't need the word course. You would need a linking word here, perhaps further. Further, mathematics was liked by this many people, and that was slightly over the value registered by physics, which was liked by this many students, percent of students. However, biology, we don't need to capitalize biology, was just loved. I wouldn't say loved, no, chosen or I don't know, preferred by 7.1%, which is considerably more than geography. And why is this in parentheses when nothing else before was not used in parentheses? While IT was the least popularized. It's popularized and popular are different things. Look this up. Was the least popular subject among German school students, I wouldn't say children, with just 3.7%. You don't need proportion. Proportion means something else. It's about comparison. Okay, I like the vocabulary that you use. You're trying to compare. I would like to see more trends, perhaps, and fix the language, definitely. Fix the language. To conclude, two totally different subjects were almost equally liked by students, but students showed little interest in technology-derived, I would say technology-based subjects. Yes, I like your conclusion, I like your conclusion. You're just repeating the word students here and here. Let's avoid repeats. So, you have a very nice style and you have very nice ideas. Just keep up the great work and work on polishing and fixing your language so that we don't lose precious points in our band score for grammatical and vocabulary accuracy, because you have a range. What we need to work on is accuracy, right? So all the best of luck and see you soon.